What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? It's been a little while since I've recorded and edited some videos. So we need to get back into it. We need to jump into it. Before we jump into this tier list, which I'm going to make as detailed and get in depth as possible, it's going to be based around ranked with insight into competitive, insight into top level ranked, insight even into casuals. Like it's going to be a mix of everything, but it's going to be focused around ranked, high level ranked. Now, before we jump into that, you can see on the screen in Smite, there's a new Arthur skin. King Arthur. It looks fucking dope as shit compared to the other Arthur skins. Like, look, this is sick. It's free. Literally free. Well, free if you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, which you should. So, this is how you get it. You go to this website right here. It's Amazon, it's Twitch. Twitch.amazon.com/prime/loot/smite. There's apparently going to be some other bundles coming out. You get the Arthur bundle, which is that skin. I think there might be a couple other things involved. You can get it on any platform. All you have to do is sign up through this, link your accounts, you get it for free. Now, when you get it for free, it's through Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime. They're the same thing. They are one. So if you have Amazon Prime and you didn't realize this, that means you have Twitch Prime. They drop free stuff for different games all the time, like once a week. Now, on top of that, you get a free sub every month on Twitch, which is $5 for free. You have $5 you get to go give to somebody on Twitch for free. So, you guys sign up, go get your skin, and then head on over to my channel, hit the subscribe button, or you can hit the link right below. I'll drop the link to the Prime Loot first, then I'll drop the link to subscribe to my channel right below that. Yeah, use your free sub there because it gets me money, supports me, and it costs you nothing, assuming you have Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime. You can also get Twitch Prime for free for $30. $30 for 30 days. What the fuck? It's free. You can try Twitch Prime for free. Amazon Prime for free, whatever it is, for 30 days. Once again, for free. I will have the link to that as the third link. It's gonna be a lot of links. And there you go. You guys can get a free skin in the game. Can get a bunch of cool shit. There we go. Like, I've been waiting for Smite to do this stuff forever. Now, on top of that, I want to cover one other thing, which I've talked about a very, very little bit. On YouTube right now, you can join the weekend channel, join the channel, become a. It's $5 a month. You get badges, emotes, and you will get exclusive videos to you first. Exclusive to you for 5 days. They're going to be guide videos and build videos. A lot of build videos will be made once we hit our goal. So once we get 500 subs, going to go ahead and send all that out to you guys. You'll get everything 5 days before everyone else. So if you're thinking about supporting the channel, that is a way to do it. Get yourself the Twitch Prime skin. Head on over and drop a sub on the channel. And we'll just fucking do some cool shit with all the new shit that's available. So, we are jumping into this tier list. Gonna cover everything. And just jump into it. Just get into it. Achilles gonna be first on our list. Achilles right now, A tier. Solid god. Not much has changed. As a jungler, he really doesn't have anything special about him. He's not super tanky. He doesn't have crazy engage. His one-shot build is really fun, obviously, but it doesn't make him a top pick in any regards at all. As a jungler. As a solo laner, you don't see him too much. I've even seen him support more than solo, which is weird. Agni, A+. I think Agni is one of the better mages right now. I don't think he can be picked like at the top. I think he can be countered, but I think he does do well into gods like Hera that are played in the mid lane and a lot of these immobile gods that are played in the mid lane. I think he's fairly safe as long as you aren't picking it into a counter matchup or top picking it and then being counterpicked. So that is something to think about when playing Agni. Same stuff. He's got decent clear. Early game is clear. Maybe level 1, 2 isn't perfect, but it's not bad. It may not be super safe. Then after that, you've got crazy bomb spam. You've got poke. You have lockdown. You got everything you need. A little bit of mobility. So AMC is next on the list. AMC is going to get bumped up into season 6 right now. AMC has seen a hell of a lot right now. I think it might teeter off throughout the year. But as of right now, he has played a lot and he seems to be doing fairly well. Not great, not a top pick, but he can be thrown in with the hunters. I think this is because of the Runeforge build, which is giving him 55 power on an item plus 250 HP. That is a decent amount of, I want to say like hybrid-esque. It's a damage item that gives you health. So we're going to go with calling it a hybrid item thrown into his normal build. It allows him that little bit of tankiness, the extra damage. He just feels good. You even see him in the mid lane right now just because of his clear. He has clear pressure. High clear god, just not super safe. So we're going to leave him around A. Apwash. Weird scenario for him. He was at the top at Worlds last year. Slowly got played less and less and less and less and less. I think there might have been one slight nerf to him, but now you don't see him at all. I think he's probably around the same as he was in terms of what he can do. But with nerfs to items and changes to items and buffs to other gods, you aren't seeing him dumpster everybody. So while the god hasn't changed too much, he has fallen down in the tier list around A. He's not played in mid much, but it's not necessarily because he's bad. It's because there's a lot of other options. And he's not super safe. On her, A tier ADC. Rune Forage comes into the game. You're going to see him building a little bit. I don't see him being a top pick. Still around the same, just an average good god, can be played in a certain matchup, certain counter picks. Say you need CC immune alts. You got all that right there and on her. Not a bad pick. Amaterasu, A tier. Similar stuff. Not played too much really in any role. Can be played in solo. Can be played in support. He's okay. Or she's okay. Sorry, she doesn't have crazy clear. Isn't a great engage for support. Just an okay god. Anubis. People always rage when I place Anubis, and I don't know why or what makes people want to rage about it. Like, I really don't get it. Anubis has crazy clear early. Yes, Anubis can kill people. Dope. But Anubis kills people by out healing the damage that he's taken with the damage he's doing. So he's going to do more damage and heal more with his ult than you're going to be able to do to him. Now, anti-heal fully counters Anubis, and everyone will have anti-heal on a team that isn't stupid. Any player that isn't stupid will have anti-heal 20 minutes into a game on Anubis. Every player will have anti-heal if they're smart players. You're going to have a Brawlers, you're going to have a Pesty, you're going to have a Divine, and your ult's not going to heal anything, so you're not going to be able to out-kill somebody. You're not going to be able to outdo yourself. And on top of that, he's just not safe. So while your one perk is I do a shit ton of damage, try to kill me while I heal myself, that goes away with anti-heal, and then you're introducing the idea that he's immobile. Not a good pick. Quang is going to make some people really happy and make some people really mad. Quang is S plus right now. Really high up there. I'm in between S and S plus, but Quang at a high level is banned or picked every single game, having a ton of success. It's another god where I think his buff is making him played a lot, and he's doing well because people haven't played against Quang in so long. And I think he'll teeter off towards the middle end of the season as usual. It just happens a lot with these assassins or these high burst gods. They are really bursty, and then people realize how to play against them, and they don't become as potent in the game. But right now, S plus. Aphrodite, B tier. I don't like Afro. There's really no reason to play Aphrodite. Anti-heal is way too easy to play, to put into your build. Afro's not good in the solo lane. She's not good in the mid lane. She's not good support. You're not taking her into any lane and doing well. Apollo, A tier. Same stuff. He hasn't changed really at all. Just an average hunter that's picked up once things are banned or you need a certain play style out of a hunter. Then you'll see Apollo. Maybe if you want a safer hunter or something like that. Arachne, B plus. They won't buffer, man. They won't do it. They changed the ult to have a slow when you land. That's all they did for her. Her 2 needs a complete overhaul. It's probably the worst ability in the game. At low levels of Smite, low level rank, low level casuals, Arachne does dumpster everybody, but it's because she's simple. You 3 somebody and then you 1-2 and you just walk at them and auto attack. Like that. Bare bones, that's how Arachne's played. And it works at lower levels because people aren't grouped up. Now at higher levels, you're never just going to run at somebody without getting fucked. So that's why you don't see Arachne at a higher tier than B+. Aries. I really like Aries right now. I think World showed us what Aries can do and how potent he really is. I don't mind him, especially into a lot of the picks that are being picked up and the Fafnir supports and all these weird supports just to lock him down and put out more damage. I don't see any issue with you picking Aries. You're not going to top pick it, but he's a little bit better than a lot of the supports in the game. So Aries is going to be A+. Artemis, I'm going to put at A tier. Runeforge build seems to be working really well on her, but she's not crazy safe. Ardeo, I still do like as a guardian / solo, but she is not winning lanes as hard as she used to. She is not just bullying everybody, so you're seeing her in the A tier. Athena, A+. I still think Athena is one of the best supports. I think she always has been. I think she always will be. You have a global fucking ult. You have this pressure. You have this taunt. She forces Magi's pickups. Solid pick all around. Awilix, A tier. Low clear early on top of not having the best team fight. You're more of a pick / beads burning god where you can go in after your team is engaged for late game fights. So that's why you're seeing her in A. Bacchus, S+. Bacchus just jumped from nothing down to everything in this season 6 patch meta, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So they made it so you have your drink, the one, on Bacchus from the start. Now, it doesn't give you anything at the start, but it allows you to fill your meter and use your 3 as a stun. Meaning, your pressure in lane, your push, your poke, your annoyance is 10,000 times higher. And you're seeing Bacchus pick the man in every single game. You even see Bacchus in the motherfucking jungle right now. Because he actually has some clear, some pressure, some annoyance, a lot of damage still. Getting played a lot. Bacchusura, A+. I think in ranked, Bacchus is doing really well. I think he's very annoying. I think the invades are frustrating. You just kind of get away from leeching off of mid lane and you just start invading and pressuring and taking every camp you can. And he just seems to be doing well. You also can go the no boots build now that there's a speed pot in the game, meaning you can go Fatalis first item, you can go Stone Cutting second item, you can go Atalanta's Bow third item. So you're sitting on like 30% movement speed from those three items. Ooh, spit my tongue. From those 3 items. Then you can go into normal attack speed items. And then later you can pick up the speed potion and have insane movement speed without ever having to sell your boots or losing anything. You just continue to gain throughout the game. Baron has seen a little fall off. He was really prioritized by a lot of people. And right now he's just not fucking cutting it. After the changes to the game and everything being swapped around, items being swapped around, Soul Reaver not being so fucking broken, the items that were making these guardians and mages in the soul lane work so well not being the best now, seeing him fall off down to A. Bastet, seen some changes, but she's not doing much better. Gonna leave her at A tier. Her damage is decent, but she just doesn't have enough. Bellona has seen some buffs, putting Bellona at A+. After the buffs, she's good. She's frustrating to play against. Just not all that crazy strong. She's not a top pick. She's more of like an average pick where you want to play it into a certain matchup or something. You're not going to top pick Bellona all the time. It's just not going to happen. Kabrakin, A tier, sitting at the same place. Nothing's changed on him. Really, there's nothing in the meta making it better. Now, if we see Hunters to continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger with his Runeforge build, then you might start to see Guardians get played more because of, say, a 2 Hunter, 3 Guardian meta. And then that might bump up the Guardians a bit because it's going to be based on that meta shift, right? But right now, we're not there. Camazotz, B+. I don't think Camazotz is all that great. That's not fair. I can't put Camazotz in B+. He's not as bad as Arachne and Anubis. Camazotz is just not crazy safe and doesn't have lockdowns. That's why you don't see Camazotz prioritized more. His damage is high, but it's not high enough to push him up into A+ or S tier. CERN saw some changes, positive changes, slow to the ult, those kind of things. Plus, with the Runeforge build, CERN is doing great. Like he's doing just fine and thriving in that A tier perfectly. Cerberus, A tier. Nothing's changed on him. Chalk. Can't believe I'm doing this. A tier. So I'm putting Chalk in A tier because of the Runeforge change, because of the change to the hammers. I don't think Chalk himself got a lot better, but I think because of the items, you are seeing Chalk perform a little bit higher, just not much higher. So I can't really put him higher than A. Chunga, A tier. She's kind of the same god. The meta just doesn't favor healing mages right now, so you only see her occasionally, but she can do well in your rankings. Churn, A tier as well. He fell off hard. I think people realized that the global ult was easy to play into. I think pressure in lane shifted and different guardians and stuff came in and can actually keep up pressure and outclear Churn, so he just doesn't do what you need him to do. Chiron, A+. I think Chiron is still one of the better hunters in the game because of his dispel and just the overall damage, raw damage coming out of his ult and his 2. Frustrating god to play against. I like having Chiron on my team, especially if they're CC heavy on the enemy team. Chronos, A tier. Seen Chronos do pretty well since Paul played it at Worlds. Seen him in the hunter role, seen him in the mid role. I don't know that it's the item shift, getting a little bit away from like just crazy regular bursty mages, making him better, but he seems to be performing a lot better with the changes that have come through. What do we got? We got Cullen A tier. You don't see him performing crazy high with the changes to warriors by himself. I think he's still an annoying god. I think he'll still work fine in lane, but I don't think he's a top priority pick for any reason. There's just nothing there that makes him a priority pick. He doesn't bully everybody. He doesn't have some crazy team fight. He's just still the same old Cullen. Cupid, A tier. I like Cupid because of the team fight potential. Dislike Cupid because in lane, you need to have a guardian that's going to bully and fight with you, and you have to fight to win that lane. So it's not necessarily something you're going to be playing a lot as a new player or as a ranked player trying to win every game, every round. But Cupid does come into play when there's some hunters banned. You need a counterplay. They have low mobility. You just need to lock them down. You need to fucking cripple the leaps and the movement. All those things come into play when you pick up these hunters later. That's why Cupid's in A tier. Dodgy, A tier. Dodgy fell off because so many gods with CC immune ults were top pick, right? Many gods were top pick. Now, when you have gods like Bacchus and Al Kwang at the top, then you start to wonder, hey, why the fuck can't I play Dodgy? Well, you can. I think Dodgy for me is going to move up this tier list into A plus and maybe even S tier throughout the season if we don't see a shift away from the current gods. Right now, I don't want to place her too high. I just haven't seen her played enough. But when you compare Dodgy jungle versus a Quang jungle, you've got the bleed to get Quang out of stealth. You can be really annoying. You have similar clear early where neither of them are very good. But then you get into the Dodgy ult being really good for team fights versus the Quang ult being really good at picking one person and killing one person. So if you Dodgy ult a Quang, make him beads, you Dodgy ult a Bacchus and pull him back in after a flop or something, he's going to die. Like, Bacchus will die. He is a tanky god. But if you're pulling him away from his team, you're locking him down that hard, he's going to die. Discordia, safer, mage, not crazy clear. Nothing changed with her. Still A tier. Erlang Shen, a little bit of a drop down for me. He was probably like the top jungler going into Worlds last year. He saw a slight nerf to, I think, the movement speed on his 3. And while it's not huge, it affected him a lot. While it's such a small change, he just isn't performing quite as well. His clear is still really good. His annoyance is still there. His lockdown is still there. I think it's just the fact that you can actually avoid. So they slowed down your shell on the 3. So your knock up on the 3 while you're moving in it, you're slower. You're not full speed. So people can avoid that a lot easier, run away from you a lot easier. And I guess that just is all it took to affect a drop from S to A+. Fafnir, I don't really like Fafnir right now. I don't see any reason for him to be played too much. Now, if, like I talked about, we're seeing more hunters played. We're seeing hunters middle with Runeforge. He's going to be an A+ tier. But right now, with the meta, we don't know if hunters are going to be that good. They might be, but we don't know right now if they're going to become that good. So because we don't know, I don't want to put him in A+, and I actually want to drop him all the way down to B+, because I think his clear in lane is bad. I think his team fight is bad. I think it only improves by using his 2 and his ultimate on hunters if a hunter meta does evolve. Fenrir right now, S tier as a support, especially in your rank games. Fenrir bops lane and wins duo lane, and winning duo lane seems to be the way to win every fucking game right now in Smite. As long as you're not getting ganked by the enemy jungler. So Fafnir is going to be up in S tier, not as a jungler, not as a solo, but as a support. Freya. We're going to talk about Freya with the newest changes. So Iris tried to nerf her because she's too fucking annoying and too good. Well, it appears from what I see and what everyone's saying that Freya got buffed. She now has a slow on her 1. So when you proc your 1, you're using your 2, you got 5 shots, right? 5 pews. They slow for 25% for 5 auto attacks. So while they nerfed the insta burst from Freya, they increased her annoyance and her ability to do consistent damage again. We just got a sub. Look at that. Mid-stream. Mid fucking video. We just got a sub. I'm not even streaming. Psycho. Psycho, shout out to you, dude. And everyone else wants a sub. Like I said, links below. But yeah. Fucking Freya had those changes and she became more consistent again. So Freya used to be really good consistently. Then they nerfed her. Then they changed her into this bursty mage. And now they're changing her again back into the consistent fuck ton of damage auto attack mage hunter. And she's back. She's coming back strong. Ganesh, A tier. I don't think he's as bad as some people think he or say he is, but his laning phase isn't an automatic win. His team fight's okay. Just doesn't have the best peel. Isn't the best support right now. A tier straight up. Geb, I think, is one of the better gods in the game right now, oddly enough. I think he's super undervalued. I think while you may lose lane or something as a duo laner Geb, it just has so many good pairings right now versus a lot of these matchups. If there's an enemy Fenrir on the other team, you can shield out his ult. If there's an Aries, shield out that. Athena taunts, shield out that. Lockdown for everybody. Bacchus stuns, shield out that. Shield out the Bacchus damage. Able to turn fights and basically use your CC immune ult to take damage while also returning and locking people down. It just goes a long way. I also like Geb as a solo laner. I think we're going to see him more. I think we definitely should see him more. Guan, next up on the list. Guan, poo-poo, man. No. Guan, everyone tries to play him. It just doesn't seem to work out. Now, if Guan is your one healer in a team comp, I then think he is stronger because people don't like to grab anti-heal just because of a Guan Yu. Because a Guan Yu's healing is more retreat healing or sustained healing, obviously, throughout a fight or throughout an objective. And people just don't like to build anti-heal into it. I don't know why. But if you pair two healers together, one with him, then you have to do the two, and people always go anti-healing, and he just falls off a lot harder. I don't think his laning phase in any lane is actually good, but if you're making it into the team fights, he can pull his weight. Hachi, just a safe hunter, nothing great about him, so A tier. Hades, A tier. We saw some buffs to the ultimate to make him tankier, but it really isn't enough to make him amazing in any lane. You do see him occasionally. If he's your favorite god, you can play him, just not the best. Hebo, A tier, still not safe enough to be played a lot, but I do like him in the jungle. I do like him in mid. Seen him in solo. I like him. I just don't think it's crazy good or anything you're going to prioritize in terms of picking. Hell, see, played a lot more right now. I think the ability of she's tankier now. If the changes a little bit ago, she became a little bit tankier. With those changes and just going a hybrid build, she really can hold her own throughout a game as long as you aren't feeding early. As long as you get to that point where you chunk really hard, the level 8, level 9 in there, you'll be good to go. Hera, I think Hera is very strong. I don't think she's quite as strong as I originally believed. I thought she would just be like unstoppable, the best, would destroy everybody. She's not quite there because you have gods like Agni, which counter her, and these other gods with ranged lockdown that can just return damage and do well into her and clear with her against her. She is picked in man a hell of a lot in ranked, but I don't want to bump her up to Quang, Bacchus, Freya level because I do see her get through in ranked occasionally, and she has games where she performs really well and games where she kind of just gets bopped, gets dumpstered. Hercules changes the warriors weren't enough to bump him up out of A. Nothing really too crazy there. I know he did get some other buff, but nothing's noticeable. Like, you do not notice Hercules being more annoying or better at all while playing the game. Ho Yi, same old hunter shit. He was good last season, wasn't crazy, still good this season. Kind of like a mid tier, just play when you need to play him or want to play him. Hun Bats, same old Hun Bats. Nothing changed with Bats. Still early clear in terms of like pressure is really low, but your team fight is great mid to late game. Isis, probably the worst mage in the game right now. I hate her. She doesn't have early lane pressure, which is what made her so good. Her late game is terrible because she has no real team fight. She's an objective secure god that used to have early pressure in mid and no longer has it, so there's no reason to play her at all. Izanami, B+, just gets locked down, dash takes too long, clear isn't enough. Nothing about even the new Runeforge build to me makes Izanami great. I hope somebody changes my mind and someone shows some crazy playstyle or strategy or build, but it just doesn't happen right now. Janus, I really like Janus, A+. I think Janus is good for moving your team around. When you have these gods that, like I said, you want CC immune ult or you want to be able to burst and get in and out. They nerfed the burst on a lot of mages in terms of items, but Janus kind of goes unaffected by the item change. Janus didn't need Book of Thoth first. Janus didn't need these different items. He's doing just fine, a lot better than a lot of the other mages. Jingwei, A+, still the safest hunter you can pretty much play. Ability to rotate back into base and coming out with the passive. She's still really strong. Kali, A tier. With the Boots, Crusher, Hydra's build, it makes her early game good enough to play her throughout a game and not just get dumpstered. So I kind of like Kali right now. Don't play her too much because most of the other gods fuck her up. But when you go into gods like Thor and things like that, you can get away with playing her fairly easily. Khepri, I don't like Khepri as a support. His pressure isn't good in lane. His ult isn't enough in a team fight. His peel is pretty shitty. And his ability to engage is non-existent. So really, no reason to be playing Khepri right now. Arthur, A tier. So from what I've seen and what all the other pro solo laners are saying, because he's not a jungler. Arthur is not a jungler. Arthur is a solo laner. His laning phase is amazing. His team fight is bad because He's locked down too easily, doesn't do crazy damage, just does a lot of sustained damage, and doesn't have engage. So because of that, I will not put him higher than A, because you see people win lane and then get shit on in team fights. Happens a lot. Don't really think you should be playing a lot of Arthur, but if you love to play him, go for it. Kukulkan, A tier, decent clear, but not safe. Kumba, A tier, decent lane clear, amazing lockdown, but it's not enough for team fighting because you're pretty much locking down one person. Your peel is okay, but when you have all these other gods that are just able to run over you and do what you want and engage past you, just doesn't go far enough. Plus, there was no real changes to Kumba to make him amazing. Kazimbo, A tier. Don't see Kazimbo a lot. Just isn't a lot of crit builds and stuff that are making Kazimbo more potent. Loki, after the nerfs, I'm putting Loki in B+. So if you don't know what happened to Loki, he lost damage on his first auto attack. His auto attack chain used to be like 1, 0.5, 0.75, 1.5 or something. I'm just making shit up. It used to be 100% damage on the first auto. So you could auto attack cancel. You could auto 1 auto, auto 3 auto, auto 2 auto, and you were doing 200% of your auto attack damage between those two autos. Well, now it's 75% on the first auto. So you're only hitting for 150 over the course of an auto attack cancel versus the 200%. And it is a huge fall off, and it affects Loki a lot. A lot of those early kills you usually get, you don't get anymore. A lot of those one shots you would possibly get, you don't get anymore. I mean, he can still one shot, he can still be annoying, but he's just not anywhere near as good and not relevant in playing in Smite's meta right now. On top of, you're pretty much giving up the totem all the time against any warrior who just wants to bully your ass because you can't stand on the totem and auto attack it with a warrior beating on you. Medusa, A tier, just an average hunter. You don't see her too much, but she's not bad. Mercury, A tier. He got nerfed. Golden Blade doesn't work on him, so he's okay. Going a non-boots build early is not good, but the ability to sell your boots late for another crit item or a lifesteal item or a pen item or a defensive item is really threatening for a late game comp if you're putting Mercury into that. Merlin, SS. Merlin is still the best god Smite has ever created in terms of kit, fun, the ability to have fun on the god, and in terms of how he performs in the game. Straight up. The best god Smite has. His damage is ridiculous. If they do not nerf his damage all around, I think all of his damaging abilities need to be hit slightly. And until then, he will be the best god in Smite, the best mage in Smite. He will go uncontested in terms of clear, pressure, team fight, disengage, all that shit. He will be so annoying, and he is going to be one of the few SS gods I've had on a tier list in forever, especially on live client. Like this, he's amazing. They really have to hit him in a lot of places to even him out and put him on par with the other mages in the game. Neath, A tier, global. Global all is about all Neath has. Nemesis is probably my most underrated jungler right now by every other player. I think everyone's sleeping on Nemesis. You have Runeforge build potential. You still have hybrid build potential. You have carry build potential. Your clear is not bad. Your ability to one-shot somebody is still really good. When you have gods like Bacchus at the top of the list, while Quang might not be the same, you can reflect a lot of damage against Quang because Quang doesn't have lockdown. But when you have a Bacchus in the meta and you got Bacchus and engages coming in on you, if they're going in on your mage, they're going in on somebody else, and you ult a Bacchus right after he hits the fucking ground, blow him up. You can kill Bacchus so easily because he has no disengage. He is fucked once he's there. Nadja. I'm S tier. I'm between these two. Nadja support is the best support in the game next to Bacchus right now. While Fafnir is very strong, Fafnir is like my third. It'd be Bacchus, Nadja, Fafnir in that order. Nadja's lane pressure is insane. Ability to kill, ability to clear, ability to rotate, ability to start fights, ability to lock somebody down. Nadja has it all right now, and because assassins are really potent in the support lane at this time, you're seeing a lot of Nadja, and you're seeing Nadja win a lot in ranked in the support role. Nike, same old Nike. Average god doesn't really do too much, but apparently wins a lot in lower levels. Nox, same old Nox. I really like Nox right now, honestly, in support and in mid. If you're hitting your abilities and you're building correctly and you're playing smart, the pressure is actually there if you just are fighting in the mid lane, not just trading clear because you're probably going to get out cleared. But when you're fighting back and forth, Nox is really annoying and does really well. Burns beads, burns magi's, all the good stuff. Nuwa. I'm between A and A+. In the meta, you just need to make it to late game. That's why I want to put her at A+, because I think she just does well at doing nothing until late game and then just hitting hard as fuck. And because the late game is coming in so quick, you're hitting late game 20, 25 minutes, like 4, 5, 6 items and Fire Giant at that point. I really do like Nua overall. I think Nua is going to be seen more and played more. Odin, A tier, and he's coming in with a hot nerf in this next patch where I feel like he's completely worthless. So right now, A tier. After the next patch, probably going to drop him down to B+. Osiris saw some buffs. I'm not sure that it was enough because you really don't see a shit ton of Osiris. You don't see Osiris bodying everybody. But he got buffs to the damage on his 1 and his 2. His early game is a little bit better. They have Runeforge in the game now, so there's a lot of options for you to build him. He does well in the solo lane. I don't mind having him on my team in the solo lane anymore. Pele. I still think Pele is one of the better junglers. A+. She didn't get nerfed at all in terms of her damage. Her passive got extended and then slightly nerfed, but because it is your passive, it's only proccing when you're lower on HP, you're still going to be able to get that lifesteal off on that one time. You just won't be able to get it off consistently 3-4 times in a team fight. She still has crazy damage, lockdown, everything you need on a jungler. Poseidon, A tier, just not safe enough to get away with, plus actives and Magi's makes it really hard to do anything on Poseidon by yourself. Ra, A tier, not safe enough, anti-heal's too prominent, a lot of lockdown, assassins coming out of the support role just fuck on gods like Ra that are immobile. Raijin is going to be one of my best mages in the game. I'm putting Raijin up at S tier. I think Raijin competes in terms of pressure and ability to kill with like Hera and the other mages that are played. Maybe not Merlin, but the other mages that are played. I really, really like Raijin in the current meta. Rama, A+, super safe hunter. Borderline would put Rama a little bit higher, but his lack of lockdown is just why I can't. Just good lane clear, good team fight, able to do objectives, all that shit. I think Rama is really strong. Ratatoskr is quite possibly top 2-3 junglers as well. Still really annoying. Can still do that early broken start. Building is very easy. You can fit in a Runeforge if you want to. Hybrid build, carry build, whatever you want. Just Rats overall really strong right now. Ravana, A tier. Bad early clear. Does well into some of the gods that are played. So that's one thing you got going for you. The immunity goes really far into these mages, into a lot of the shit. But when you've got hunters and you've got pressure coming out of mid, Ravana does not compete with that. So you usually want to go different junglers like Rat that can clear, that can poke, that can fight early. Scylla, A tier. Early clear isn't strong enough for her to be bumped up any higher. Plus, the fact that rushing Book of Thoth isn't just the best thing ever now. You don't have this crazy clear power early. Granted, you can still do it. So does work. It's just not as annoying. So Scylla's still A tier. Serket, A tier. I like Serket as a jungler. Just an okay jungler. It reminds me of like the Hun Bats, where obviously Serket doesn't team fight quite like Hun Bats, but Serket does have the 1v1, the fucking I'm gonna kill you, the pick potential that you really need out of a jungler a lot of the time, and that's why Serket's still A tier. Scotty with the Runeforge changes bumps up to A for me. I think Scotty's pretty good. I think the Runeforge build is really annoying, and I think you'll see more Scotty throughout the year. Sobek, A tier. Just not a great support or soul laner right now. Just doesn't do enough. Isn't able to fight over Totem of Ku. Pretty much just gives up the lane. So not seeing a lot of Sobek. But Sobek as a god, once you get into the mid and late team fights, is still just as annoying. That's why he's not going down any lower. Soul is going to be my wild card for this tier list, I believe. I think Soul is not played enough right now. With the changes to items like Typhon, what's the fucking called? It's lifesteal item. Whatever, Typhon's Fang. So you can go Bancross, you can go Boots, you can go Pen, and then you go Typhon's Fang. You have double lifesteal on top of your 1, which will heal you, on top of the extra power you're getting, because those two items together are giving a fuck ton of power. Soul's able to solo Gold Fury early, do a lot of stuff throughout the game that I think is being missed at the lower levels and seen at the higher levels, and I won't be shocked when Soul is played all the time in ranked and competitive. Sun Wukong, A tier. The warrior buffs didn't really affect him enough. Susano, A tier. Buff to his ult a little while ago was awesome. You can ult quicker and get the knockup off at a quicker pace, but just not the strongest jungler right now. Playing Susano into gods like Hera, fucking Nadja support, Bacchus support can be really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. But you do okay into gods like Quang, gods like Freya, assuming you're being in and out very fast. So you will see Susanna played a decent amount. Sylvanas, A tier. I don't think Sylvanas is a top tier support whatsoever, but I don't mind having him once you get into team fighting. Terra, A tier. After the changes to items, just brought her down a bit. Thanatos, A tier. Runeforge on him isn't doing enough to make him any better. There's nothing different about him. No reason for him to be bumped up any higher. Morgan, A tier. She's got the same clear, same god. Thor, A tier. Runeforge, okay on him, but just not doing anything crazy. Thoth, I'm going to put it A+. I think Thoth is really strong right now. The changes, they buffed his one. They buffed the damage. The damage on his one is up. I don't know if it's from his wall or if it's just from his one overall. Sorry, from his wall or his one overall. They buffed his ult damage, and now his 2 doesn't stun anymore. It roots the first target, but will pass through, slow the other targets, and do damage to everyone hit. So you've got a lot more AoE damage coming out of Thoth again, which is very, very potent. Tier, I kind of like Tier right now. I'm not going to put him any higher than A because I don't see him like dumpstering lane or being crazy successful, but no reason not to play Tier. Uller is going to be S tier for me. I think Uller mid is one of the best mids in the game because of pressure, because of clear, because of lockdown. I think you just see Uller succeed into all of these matchups. The mobility, getting away from a Bacchus, getting away from these other gods is really strong, whereas some mages don't have that, while also having the ability to lock them down. So a Bacchus is trying to stun you, Uller can stun out a Bacchus stun. Uller can get away from a lot of these gods. If Fafnir tries to ult you, you can leap out, you can turn it, you can stun the Fafnir or brutalize. You have a lot of in and out on Uller, and I really, really think Uller is probably top 2 mids right now. Vamana is going to be S+ for me. I think Vamana is the best solo laner in the game. Odin's getting nerfed. Odin, you can already walk through the Odin wall as Vamana. The item changes, the pressure in the lane, getting you Totem of Coup, your ability to rotate, your ability to proxy. Vamana right now is like top priority, top pick god, gets through a lot in ranks, so you will see a lot of Vamana. You see a fuck ton of Vamana. Vulcan, A tier, just not safe enough. Xbalanque, A+. I think Xbalanque in lane is still really strong. In team fights, even stronger because of the ult. I think with the assassins coming out and giving you pressure in lane, you'll see more Xbalanque, and it'll work. It'll be strong. Xingtian, A tier. Ymir, A tier. Zeus, A tier. And Zhonghui, A tier. None of them were changed. None of them do anything special. None of them are crazy strong right now. And that, boys and girls, is our tier list. This tier list is fucking beautiful, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I look back through it. Like, I don't pre-do these tier lists. I just kind of like go, I get on and we start talking. This shit is fucking beautiful. I like seeing Smite like this. Like, in my head, there's like, what, 7, 8 gods that shouldn't be played at all. And then every other of the 101 gods outside of those 8 should be played. And fucking however many of them are actually really, really strong right now. Outside of Merlin needing a nerf, I really like where the game seems to be at in terms of God's skill and where the gods are at. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the subscribe button on the channel. Please think about joining and becoming a member of the channel. And please, for the love of all things holy, go to this link, which is right below. Get your fucking skin before it's gone. And then after you have your Twitch Prime skin, click the link or go to my channel, twitch.tv/weekend, and subscribe with your free sub. It's huge. We can hit crazy fucking goals right now with the amount of you who are going to Twitch Prime sub to get this skin and can come and sub on my channel. And if you're not going to sub to my channel, there's however many other people, Solo Double J, fucking Maddie Pocket, there's so many other people. Maddie Pocket Chapo, there's so many people for you to sub to, so please go and do that. Remember, you just literally type this in. It'll say log in, link your account, and you're good to go. It's really easy to get the skin. It puts it in the game for you. Get it on all the platforms. Easy. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the video later. Hope you guys like the tier list. I'll check you in the comments.